Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. If you're one of my regular viewers, you know this is part two of the ACDC triple shot. I'm just gonna get right into this one because this is one of those grandiose albums everybody's covered, everybody's talked about, and can I really add much to this that hasn't been said before? So, AC/DC Back in Black, the first album released as the band mourned the loss of Bon Scott. However, they hired Brian Johnson. And some would argue this is their greatest album ever. I don't agree with that, but there is a good argument for it. And the argument goes like this. The album opens up with Hell's Bells. So you get those bells going on, that bell chime going off right at the beginning, and then, it just gets all... Man. Yup. 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 And then we go into Shoot to Thrill. Believe it or not, I'm not a huge fan of this song. Never have been. I don't mind it, but I don't have the love for it that other people do. When it showed up on Iron Man, I went, what? Now this one, come on. But I see why so many people like it. It is a really good song with some really great structuring into it, and the build-ups and the tempo changes and everything like that. It's a solid, good rock song. Then we get to What Do You Do for Money, Honey? I get it. I get it. Totally get it. And I like that it is really a call out. And I think it should be a call out again. But in the grand scheme of things, it's an album cut, It's not a great tune. Then you go to Giving the Dog a Bone. Pretty standard affair for AC/DC, nothing overly spectacular, but I really do kind of enjoy it. But bare bones, basic AC/DC. Then you get Let Me Put My Love Into You. Now, following up right after Giving the Dog a Bone, it's like, come on, guys, really? Okay. I get it. We're horny. We want to fuck everything that walks. But, when we get to Let Me Put My Love Into You, this is completely different. This is a whole different dynamic. This is more... I mean, we're not talking getting into some great soul kind of seduction where you get that deep Barry White voice going on and stuff like that. But man, I can see Barry White. Let me put my love into you, babe. Let me put my love on the line. Horrible. I can't do Barry White, obviously, I just don't have that type of whoa depth. You gotta have black man depth for that. I don't have black man depth. But you get what I'm saying, man. Like, Let Me Put My Love Into You, it is this kind of a soulful kind of song, man. It's a little more sexy. Let Me Put My Love Into You would be one of those songs that, while not being in the same vein in any way as Ride On, it shows that when AC/DC slows it down just a tad, though, they can really deliver one hell of a cool song, Because, I mean, they have other slower kind of bluesier songs, like Can I Sit Next to You, Girl, off of the US release of High Voltage anyways. There's a few other ones that are kind of slower, kind of slinkier, sexier, but they're not the same as this. This belongs more in the... If AC/DC doing Ride On is like the pinnacle of their doing a slower song, okay? Like the magical pinnacle of them doing a slower song. Let Me Put My Love Into You, Babe is going to be kind of a little more around here, But, Whereas I'd say, Can I Sit Next to You, girl's kind of down here, you know. Okay, so that makes up the first side of the album. The first side of the album is a pretty good start to everything. Kind of gets you in the mood, kind of gets you going. But then we get to side two. Now, this one I definitely look at as side one, side two, because I grew up having a cassette first. Now, I should mention, before I go any further, this particular version I'm holding in my hands is that the digitally the first time they did a full digital remastering of the Back in Black album. But this is the one that was in the Bon Scott tribute album. I don't have just the regular copy of Back in Black anymore. I sold it off a while ago. No, sorry, I gave it to my kid. I gave it to my son a while ago. I didn't need 2 copies, right? So I've got this one. And there is actually another version in the house because Tracy bought a special deluxe edition, which I really haven't gotten into listening to at all yet because, you know, I mean, this is good enough. For now. I should get into it. But anyways, I always thought it was kind of weird that they put this into the Bon Scott box set because it was the first album afterwards, so it was kind of their mourning, and I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, eh. Anyways, so this is full notch quality sound, which is kind of where I wanted to go with that. Now, getting into the second side, we've got, for starters, Back in Black. Whew. Everybody knows that. Starting with that little counting, that great tune. Solitude. Overplayed frickin' tune, sure, definitely. Great solid tune, though. Absolutely love it. Then we go into You Shook Me All Night Long. Now, Shook Me All Night Long, man. I'm sorry, but this song is AC/DC created Liquid Panty Dropper with this song, man. Every woman I have ever known, it doesn't matter who, well, yeah, no, pretty much every woman I have ever known, at least as long as they listen to AC/DC, even if they don't listen to AC/DC, man, this song comes on and they just get right into shaking that groove thing, man. Right into it. And you know, it's just one of those songs. I mean, I know people that don't like the song, but usually if they don't like the song, they don't like AC/DC. And that happens more often with guys than with girls, I find. You know, AC/DC really has a huge female following. Huge. I've been to the concerts. I've seen it. Huge. Then we get to Have a Drink on Me. I love Have a Drink on Me. Favorite of mine, actually, to karaoke. Honestly, love this song for karaoke. Great tune. Great tune. The only song in the second set that I do not love, do not really like, do not have a special major part in my heart for, is Shake a Leg. And that's track 9. And it's kind of like going back to like Give the Dog a Bone or stuff like that. Like, it's a great blues influence kind of song. It's got that great heavy kind of blues that AC/DC does. But it's not a great song. I mean, the second side of the album, if they had switched out Shake a Leg, honestly, I know I said I'm not a fan of Shoot to Thrill, but if they had switched it up a little bit, you know, if they had found a way to put Shoot to Thrill into track 9, second side would have been freaking loaded beyond belief. First side would have been way too weak, though, I think. And you can't move Hell's Bells, because Hell's Bells opens up the album perfectly. Anyways, Shake a Leg, not bad. It's alright. Then we get to the final song on the album. One of AC/DC's greatest songs. One of my favorites. And the AC/DC song I have probably karaoke'd the most. I want to put a caveat into there. There's a difference between karaoke'd the most and sang the most. Because I have performed AC/DC songs with various bands I've played with over the years. Dirty Deeds used to be a staple, and Highway to Hell was in there for a while too. So I've sung both of those a lot. I love doing Dirty Deeds. Absolutely love doing Dirty Deeds. But I love playing it live. I don't like doing it on karaoke as much. It's not bad, but it's not the same. But my favorite karaoke, absolute favorite, and one of my all-time favorite AC/DC songs in general, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. The greatest way to wrap up this album. Oh my god, they were genius to wrap up the album with this song, and I just absolutely to this day love this song. I mean, it's a song that just introduced me to so much musically, especially when it comes to blues. You know, like sure you can find blues throughout AC/DC everywhere, without a doubt, right? But when you listen to Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, you really start dissecting and breaking it down. And yes, I've done this because it was going to be part of a set list with one of the bands at one time, but it ended up scrapping it because of the nuances and there was just a little bit of this and that. It was really kind of, we were having a hard time getting it just right and it wasn't working. Um, Fantastic song though. It's just such heart and magic and passion and love, and when you hear a whole arena screaming the chorus, it's just beautiful and amazing. Anyways, yeah, so if you have never bought an AC/DC album, first off, why? Secondly, you should buy this one. Absolutely should buy this one. If you've never discovered AC/DC at all, first off, don't start with one of the greatest hits like the Iron Man 2 soundtrack or anything like that. The only AC/DC soundtrack you should ever have is the Who Made Who soundtrack, okay? That or the Maximum Overdrive Who Made Who album. That's the only one you should ever own. This is where you should start though. Start here or start with Highway to Hell, but if you're going to start with the Brian Johnson era, start with the Brian Johnson era and get this one. Anyways, everyone, those are my views, those are my thoughts. You got the comments section, let me know what you think. I'm interested. Otherwise, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Peace, love, take care.